Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly Dungeon Master this evening. Well, actually, I won't be your friendly Dungeon Master. I will be your friendly Rolemaster, because tonight we are carrying on with our October campaign playing Rolemaster Classic, aka Rolemaster 2nd Edition, the classic fantasy RPG from Iron Crown Enterprises, playing an adventure set in Terry K Amthor's Shadow World on the continent of Jaiman, Land of Twilight. And with me tonight are the stars of the Heirs of Sea and Sorrow campaign. I'll go with the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing tonight. First up, we have George.
Oh, hey, I am George. I'm playing Zart Blakrick. Is that the proper pronunciation, Kev? Or you can use
Zart Ikrick.
Zart Ikrick. Oh, that's an I. Got it.
Yeah. Elvish is really tricky to read. So.
That's right. Oh, man. And I'm a rune master, so you would think. So I'm a half-elf, level 5 magician.
Mm-hmm. And George's character is a full brother to John's character, Zartor Dak, who we have met in the campaign thus far, and a half-brother to Nimrice, which is Will's character. I'm stepping on Will's introduction here. Jeez. Let's quickly cover it up.
You're fine.
Next up is our resident armorsmith, Dave.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave. I am playing Sir Kiera Ventier. She is now the, person who's going to take over when her father dies because her brother didn't freaking come home. But we'll get into that later. Kind of like foster sister to the Zart brothers and Nemrace, and I guess everybody's kind of a foster sibling because they all kind of grew up in the same place. So
yeah, I think Kaya is actually the one that is closest in age to you. Yeah, as well. I can't remember offhand, but next up is Will.
Hi, I'm Will. I'll be playing Nimrice. He is a animist, which is basically a druid type. He shares the same father with George and John's characters, and is the oldest of the group at 56.
Tavar Blackheart, the notorious Diari or Dark Elf pirate.
He's not that bad.
Last but certainly not least is Andrew.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andrew, and I'm playing Kaya, a 19-year-old, to answer that question. Hirazi Rogue.
I'll show you guys.
Kind of a humanoid with bat wings kind of creature or person.
Feathered wings.
Feathered wings.
Yeah.
There we go. So this will be fun. I've never played Rolemaster before, so I'm looking forward to learning. And Kaya is the adopted sibling of Sir Kira.
Yeah. So the we'll do a very. I mentioned before we went live. I'll do a quick introduction to situate where for George and Andrew have not had a chance to join us yet. So our campaign is set in the Duchy of Cloven Bay and is situated around a holding called Myrnadoom. Myrnadoom is held by the Ventier family. The lord of that setting is Lord, where are you here? Udic Ventier. Udic Ventier has 2 children from the same wife. The wife has unfortunately passed away, but the son, an elder son named Halen Ventier, and a younger daughter named Kira. And Kira has, as of 2 winters ago, been knighted by the Duke, the Lord of the Duchy of Cloven Bay, Duke Rinovar. And roughly 8 years ago, the 2 half-elf brothers, Zartor Crick and Zartor Dak, as well as Halen, all went off with in a flying ship to go and study at this flying city called Eidolon. And Eidolon, I actually only learned how to properly pronounce that word this week. I was listening to a Gene Wolfe novel on things, and they said Eidolon, and I'm like, is that how that word's supposed to be said? Because I've been saying it wrong for a long time. So anyway, the Eidolon is the flying city, and Zartordak, Zartakrik both went there. The translation of your names are White Wolf and Night Wolf, respectively, where you excelled in your formal studies as a magician, a wielder of essence magic. Your brother kind of found a different path, one that was a little closer to Selkai, the city that is underneath Eidolon, and in more of the darker alleys and whatnot. Likewise, Hela Ventier ended up deciding to pursue a different path. So when you returned here after 8 years away, Halen did not come, but to your surprise, your brother did come. And you hadn't seen him in several years. You'd really kind of lost track of each other. In the absence, Kaya, you were adopted. You have no memory of your parents, but you have been raised in the Ventier home as one of them. You are not part of the lineage and whatnot, so you won't be inheriting anything necessarily, but you have become effectively like the seneschal, or the in some cases scout or spy or messenger for Lord Ventier. Myrna Doom itself is between 8 and 10,000 years old. It was built at some time in the Second Age of Ire by a race of elves called the Lowari, also known as the Builders. And when he took it over and was granted this location by the Duke, he spent most of his lifetime rebuilding it, and in addition to building up the logging and hunting and trapping kind of community that is around Myrna Doom, he also built up an impressive library. So it has become a place of scholarship as well as kind of a retreat. The map, which I only finished up a couple of days ago, is right here. What you guys can see, and the scale is accurate finally. So Cloven Bay is the center of Myrna Doom, and Cloven Bay, there you go. Myrna Doom is about a day's travel up into the mountains. It takes a little, like not your full day if you're on horseback, as Sir Kiera was before, but if you're walking, it's a good day's travel up into the mountains to near where Myrna Doom is located. Called, Tower Cove, and Ryden Glen are all part of the duchy as well, and in the most significant geopolitical struggle that has happened over the last couple of decades has been a war with Oakford, the Kingdom of Oakford. There is peace now, but things have been... it was after a sound drubbing by the Duke and by Lord Ventier as well.
That peace will be short-lived, Kev.
I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see here. Then the other things you need to know, I guess, are you have all recently arrived back in Cloven Bay. This is Cloven Bay, or some of the images. Oh, let me just shrink this one. Here we go. These are some images of what you expect to understand what Cloven Bay is kind of like. Cloven Bay is so named because it has the deepest harbor within 100 miles in either direction, and it seems as if like a mighty, axe went down and dragged out. The land where Cloven Bay is located, or where the Duchy of Cloven Bay is located, here we go, guys, is I mentioned we're on the continent of Jaiman. We are right here. Cloven Bay is about there, and then you go inland, and that's where you would find Myrna Doom. This is what was once the kingdom of Ulashak. Ulashak is one of the 6 realms that dominated Jaiman at the end of second half of the Second Age of Ire, but that is now 8,000 years past. And in the time since then, all 6 kingdoms have really either collapsed altogether or receded dramatically. Ulashak has not been a kingdom for more than 6,000 years. And at the end of the Second Age of Ire, there were hundreds of years of conflict that have been called the Wars of Dominion that led to the raising of this whole region, the northern part of Ulashak. So the kingdoms and whatnot that have sprung up in the 6 millennia since the start of the Third Age of Ire have really been built on the ruins of that conflict and all those different things that came before. Dave, let's get on the personal note right now. What has happened to our favorite heir slash knight, Sir Kira?
Well, mostly just like last session. So I think
up to you. You can give a full summary from her perspective. What's happened thus far, if you'd like.
Well, real brief then. So she left Myrna Dune to head to Cloven Bay to meet her brother and her foster brothers, who were all supposed to be returning on this airship. When she got there, her brother and the heir to Myrna Dune, Halen, had not returned, and kind of got some sketchy answers from Ordak. And then Jeff's character, Jawar, who's a fighter monk.
He's a warrior monk from the Changramai Order.
Yeah.
None of you guys have met Jawar before.
He was well acquainted with most of the others who were returning, as they had been on the same airship and traveling together and so forth. And he was, I guess, tasked to keep Sir Kiera safe. While we were in the obelisk, the tavern outside of the magical portal stone, staying overnight, we were attacked, as we're kind of where we started off the last session. Some shadowy undead creature that could magically pass through walls or use some magic to get through from the hallway to her room without being seen, attacked Sir Kiera in her room. Jawar left his room, or ran back through his room past the other characters who were not there that day.
There's the intruder.
And he came smashing through her window to help out against this intruder, which was really creepy and kept making it would say a word in I think it was Dark Elf. And a shuriken would appear in its hand magically, and then he would throw it at her and try to hit her. She did get hit once, but had to go on to full defensive just to avoid its attacks, while Jawar punched on it and attacked it with everything he had, and we were able to drive the creature off after pretty lethal fight. And then after that, the group got together with the captain, who had brought Nemrice and the Zart brothers back, and they set out a plan to using an illusion to make it look like Sir Kiera was heading back on horseback with her brothers or foster brothers back to Myrna Dune as kind of a diversion, while Sir Kiera and Jawar went in secret to meet with the Duke, told the Duke what was going on, and kind of made our way on foot back to Myrna Dune a couple hours behind the group. Or not a couple hours, about an hour maybe behind the group. Biggest thing that I guess came out of that was the people we saw in the tavern the night before the intruder attack. There was some folks there from what's it called?
Oakford.
A night that Sir Kiera had embarrassed an attorney and his sister, and some giant who's in that blue tabard and plate mail.
Yep.
And a bunch of mercenaries. They jumped us on the road. Oh, and their little magician friend.
Yeah.
So the 8 of them jumped the 2 of us on the road, and that's where we ended the session.
Jesus,
Kevin,
Kevin,
everybody else
screwing
shows up.
around.
So what? I think that Dave did a terrific job of covering everything that has happened in the last. Oh, the one other thing that happened was.
I mean, is that all?
Oh yeah, that
You
guy.
guys have had.
Oh yeah, there's that dude.
Oh, he's so cute. In a "let me love you, I'm gonna crush you" sort of way.
Well, he was there. There is a reason I bring him up, not only because he told a kind of a strange story for coin to Sir Kira and the rest of the heroes as well too. Sir Kieran noticed something afterwards as well, after the attack.
Yeah, there were some silver coins left inside both rooms, slid underneath the door, and from the doors to an open window were footsteps, wet footsteps that would look like Udu's.
Well, actually, so the wet footsteps were the size of humans, like what the attacker was.
Oh.
It was just, while looking on a specific angle, you could see there was a little bit of grease where its footsteps. Remember that thing had bare, like, monkey paw feet.
Right.
So, and both heroes, Jawar and Sir Kira, were actually awakened by the sound of those coins coming in.
So yeah, there was some warning provided by, we figure, this Udu character, who had the night before done some kind of a really interesting story about the six empires with coins, and then making the coins disappear, making it sound like there's some sort of, like, it didn't seem prophetic, but it kind of did, like there wasn't like a child of something shall do this and blah blah blah, like a typical prophecy, but it wove some mystical lore into what was going on, and we still don't know exactly what's going on, except now that we're being attacked in our sleep. And
yeah, so where our scene will open, guys, let me just move these out of the way here. This is a good indicator of what, let me make sure I got you on the right screen. I do, look at that. I can be taught. What you're seeing is a good idea of what the trip from Cloven Bay up to Myrna Doom is like. Like, there's a reason that Myrna Doom has sat empty for so many years. Oh, it didn't sit empty, actually, because there was a monastery to the Sisters of Aisa, who worship a goddess also known as the Keeper of Souls, goddess of death, the afterlife, winter, and rebirth. And you note on that map that I showed you, there's a place called Winter Watch. That is a shrine that they keep as well. They were here before Lord Ventier was here, and if you ask them, they'd probably say that they'd be here after he leaves as well. But what we'll pick up with, guys, is and one thing I'll mention to Andrew is, first, I guess, I got two things I want to mention. One of them is story-based, and one of them is just mechanics-based. Story-wise, because of your wings, you can fly at, I think it's 30 miles an hour for an hour and a half, which means that you can go from Myrna Doom to Cloven Bay in under an hour. That makes you an outstanding courier and messenger. The Hirazi are an extremely rare and honestly thought to be extinct race. So I'll leave it to you to see how open that he wants to be about that.
Do we have brittle bone syndrome or something like that?
Very much so. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So we're a little fragile. Yes,
you are definitely the Rolemaster equivalent of your saving throws are not great because it's a more brittle system. However, your character is a particularly hardy version of that. One of the things you do when you make a Rolemaster character is you get to select these things called background options. And one of the background options you've got is that you're kind of, as far as bird-boned individuals go, you're tough as old shoe leather.
See, folks, that's a DM who's designing a character to let you explore and have some fun and learn the game system without dying in the first combat.
And you know what? Hold on, I just
challenge accepted.
Let's see here. For some reason your PowerPoint total went away there, George. There we go. Boom.
Lost all my power already.
Yeah.
Unlike Savage,
not going well.
Does someone leave the keys in this thing? Come on.
Damn it. Again.
The other thing I'll just mention as well, for first time for you, Andrew, maybe just as a reminder for George, the Rolemaster, the combat system is a critical-driven combat system. You do have your concussion hits, which are the equivalent of like hit points, but really where the meat of the game comes from is the criticals. You'll see when you get your first result either on an enemy or on yourself, that the critical hits really add a huge amount of evocative flavor to the game.
Did you just say, hold on, back up a second. Did you just say when I score a critical hit on an enemy or myself.
Or one is scored on yourself. There is a robust and hilarious fumble system in Rolemaster as well, too. So,
oh, lovely. This is exciting.
Now, one question I'll forestall as well, too. George, if you have a question as to making use of your one magic item, that is the same as if you were casting a spell of your highest level, which means 2 rounds of concentration and then 1 round for casting.
Okay. Got it.
Now,
and that just, and while we're on that topic, Kevin, I'm just looking at the character sheet.
Yep.
I say I've got weapon skills, composite bow, and my short dagger combo. And
so
stuff.
let me help you navigate that. Just so what you'll see on the left side, there's going to be a list of primary skills. Primary skills are kind of like, in Rolemaster, they have different broad categories of skills of secondary and primary. Primary skills are it's the D&D skills. It's to do the shit that D&D style characters would have. It's sneaking and hiding and deciphering runes and casting magic or learning magic and using weapons and maneuvering in armor and whatnot. Those are your core kind of like, this is what a fantasy RPG is about skills. You then also have your secondary skills, and those are really more your background skills. Those are the things that make your character different from anybody else. You're always going to be rolling a D100 for everything you're going to do in this game. You're also going to want, for the types of maneuvers you're going to do, whether they are moving maneuvers or static maneuvers, generally speaking, you're going to want to roll 100 or higher. The more you get above it, the more success you see, and there is a graded success scale as well too. So if you don't fully succeed with something and a partial success is a possibility, you'll see that instead.
Okay. Suddenly I'm seeing why you were saying that I'm rather, like, my skills with the bow are surprisingly good.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is. I'm already over 100 without doing a damn thing.
But there is a complicating factor. You'll also see on the right side, there are your weapon skills. And there is something called OB and something called DB listed there. OB, and as it is right now, everything should be in OB. I got those numbers from your weapon skills from the primary skills. What you're going to do at the start of each round, what we do is you decide how you're going to split up if you're attacking or if you're parrying, which takes a minimum of 50% of your action. You can divide that up however you like. Your offensive bonus gets added to your attack rolls, and then your enemy's defensive bonus gets subtracted from that. It'll all be calculated on your attack roll, as long as you use those weapon skills. And the defensive bonus is subtracted from the attacks on you. There are certain ways that can be modified, like parrying with a sword does fuck all when someone's shooting you with an arrow, so you're not really going to be able to apply that. But if you've got a shield, you can use that. If you have range attacks, if you're attacking from the range and you're not in melee with anybody, there's really not a great reason for parrying. If you do put your decide to use your bow and parry, you have a chance of breaking your bow. One thing we didn't do last time, Dave, that I forgot about is weapon breaking. That is definitely a thing in this. So you know those results where we were like, oh, you got a hit, but there's no effect for it? We should have been checking for breaking during that period, because that is a thing that can happen in Rolemaster as well.
That's for having a +5 sword, comes in handy.
Absolutely. It increases the break factor of it, so it's harder to break that thing. Shield, not so much though. So then once you lock it in the beginning of the round, it stays that way. We'll talk about, let's talk about it right now, because we're going to get into a bit of a scrap in a moment, it sounds like. What if you are doing a melee attack? You need to spend 100% of your action to attack. This is something I screwed up last time, Dave, so I've read it now. If you change your mind, if you decide to move or do anything else with your, other than 100% of your time on that, you take a penalty equal to the percentage that you're taking down to 50. You need to spend at least 50% of your time doing that. Melee or missile attacks, though, for Nemrice and for Kaya, that is only 50%. But you're probably going to be spending more of your action to reload between. In addition, if you choose to move, the way it works is if you're going to move any speed, if you're just going to walk anywhere, you take your movement, and whatever percentage of your action you put towards that, that's how much you get to move. So if you have a move of 50 and you're putting 50% towards that, you can move 25 feet this round. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And then if you choose to maneuver, so like Kaya, you've got a pretty great flight speed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, your flight speed is 100. So you could spend 50% of your action to just fly 50 feet, which is the usual speed of a person on the ground. You can choose to be moving at an increased rate, but the terrain may require you to make a moving maneuver check. It's kind of like, I'm trying to think, in Savage Worlds, when you when you run, you roll that dice, so you don't know precisely how far you're going to get. It's kind of the same thing in this. You make a maneuver, and then that'll tell you how far you can get. If you're wearing heavier armor, it's harder to do those maneuvers. If you're wearing light or no armor, it's easier to get them off.
But a lot of it has to do with what you roll on your D100, right?
Very much so, yeah, on the maneuver check. The last thing is spellcasting. So, spellcasting is if you're for your level, you guys are all 5th level. 5th, 4th, and 3rd level spells will take you 3 rounds to cast. 2 rounds of concentration, where 90% of your time is spent concentrating on the spell, and then you can spend 10% to do whatever you like. If you want to see what percentage that the different actions take up, underneath the Murder Doom handouts, there are assorted abilities, and I have in there, boom, our handy activity percentage table. Once you get to the casting round, though, it is 75% of your action to cast the spell, and then you can spend 25% doing whatever you like. The exception to that is if you have any spells that have a little asterisk next to the name, those can be cast immediately. They activate at 10%, and they take up in total 50%. So if you've got something like Shield is one of your spells, Zardakrik, that's a quick one. And then the way that we do initiative is we roll initiative once and we just go through the same order each time. Your initiative is the only thing that is not automated. It is listed in the notes section of your character sheet. And what we do is anything that's 25% or less goes first. So if anyone has that action, you go first. Then we do anyone who's up to 50%. Then we do anyone up to 100%. And it's if you have, like, say, 25 and then, I don't know, 25 and then 10 and then 60 that you want to do in your round, you could do 25 in the first pass, then you can do that 10 in that second pass, and then the 60% one could be done in the third pass. And if you happen to win initiative, you're still acting before anybody for each of those sequences. That make sense?
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Spell disruption is not a thing in this unless you get a stun result. If you're stunned, you're probably going to lose your spell.
Right.
And
I have 2 quick questions regarding spellcasting. One, I happen to notice that I have, for my PowerPoints, I have 30 and then 45 in parentheses.
Yes.
What is it?
So the way that you calculate your PowerPoints, how many, I guess, was used for your spells, I can't remember. Do you have something called a spell adder as well?
I do.
A spell adder can be used to cast any level spell, and it costs you no PowerPoints. And the reason that's important is because your PowerPoints or your spells cost an amount of PowerPoints equal to the level of the spell. So 5th level spells cost 5 PowerPoints. I mentioned that Kaya has that special ability from her background, or their background ability of augmenting their hit points. Yours is that you are a font of power. So there's another kind of magic item that magic users like using in this called PowerPoint multipliers. What that does is it multiplies the number of PowerPoints you have. The way we calculate your PowerPoints is we take your spellcasting stat. That'll tell us how many you get per level. In your case, it's 3 per level, I think. 3 times 5 is 15, but you're already a natural PowerPoint multiplier, so you're going to get times 2 to 30. So at 30 is without anything else. You also have a PowerPoint multiplier item. And rather than like multiplying 2 by 2, it just augments it up by 1 more, which gives you 45 to draw from. It's like an efficiency matrix that you're casting your spells through. It's making it more efficient as you're drawing on that power.
Okay, cool. And you answered my second question.
Oh, what was the second question?
You answered it, which was how many PowerPoints per. I thought it was per level, and it is.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, like it's a lot of stuff. It has the appearance of being more complicated than what it actually is. Once you actually get into the meat of it and things get moving, it is, it gets pretty straightforward. So, any last questions before we dive into our scene here, guys?
I had wanted to just quickly clarify. The character sheet mentions a composite bow. Is that the raptor bow mentioned in my in the PDF?
Yes.
You said?
Yep.
Okay.
And that only requires 20% action. The magic, rather than taking, I believe, let's see, reloading a composite bow is a 70% action normally. It takes you only 20 with this bow.
Oh, rapid fire! Here we go.
So the then guys. So what I think we will.
Fun with the fight. Gotta go.
I think what we'll do is where we left. Dave, where did we leave things? We left, I believe, with you about to remove your helm. Was it not?
Yeah. So Jawar and Sir Kiera were walking. They noticed movement up ahead. The wizard, the knight, his sister, and the giant in blue all appeared in front of them. The 4 mercenaries appeared behind them, and they were asking Jawar and Sir Kiera to take their hoods down and show who they were, because they were watching for certain travelers. And Sir Jawar put his hood down, and Sir Kiera was basically just like, if I pull my hood down, we're fighting. So
she has a very distinctive helm that has a distinctive kind of like sea drake or fish quality to it that was a gift from the Duke. And Sir Kiera's made some, would you call them friends at local tournaments?
She embarrassed the knight. What's his last name? He's like
Trove. They are the Troves.
Yeah, so he's like the son of
King Olin.
Yeah.
So what will happen? Let's move ourselves over to the scene here. Where are you guys? Right here, I believe.
And see, Will, this is where my characters don't always want to fight.
Yeah, okay.
So here is Jawar and Sir Kiera, situated in the center there. Ahead on the trail, this would be heading up in this direction towards Myrna Doom.
I think we're all not seeing. Yeah, me too.
No one can see anything?
Yeah, I don't think we have vision.
No, I can't see anything.
Oh, hold up here.
Either that or we're not on the screen. One of the two.
I want to see stuff. Oh, jeez. It's like...
I know, demanding players.
I know. It's like playing Battleship, and all I'm doing is just playing with G.I. Joes behind it. Guys, this is so much fucking fun. I tell you. Holy shit.
Don't you know
missing
this
something.
is theater of the mind, people?
There we go. Is everyone beginning to get vision here, or what?
Let me zoom out some more just to make sure. I still have a box.
I have not.
Do I have? Let's see what I've got for lighting.
Still, yeah.
What do I have for lighting? Boom.
You're all in a cave.
How about now?
Much better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, actually, could you go back to black screen? I don't like what I see now.
So what's happened is they have demanded that the 3 people who are there is Sir Eldon Trove, who is the son of King Olin. There's Lady Ula. Sorry, what is that right? Lady Eudice, right? A Lady Eudice, who is also known as the bastard daughter. She is an absolute sociopath. Mean, nasty, vicious. And then there is the Oakford Giant, who is just, he is one of the knights in service to King Olin, and he is an absolute fucking monster of a man. The mercenary mage who is with him, you guys do not know who that is. But Jawar has stalled as long as he can Sir Eldon, and if you guys want to see what Sir Eldon looks like. And he is complete with that mind gauche as well. He has pointed and demanded, take your helm back, take your hood back, let's see who you are. And that's around when we hear kind of a padding from behind. what has happened off screen, guys, is Zardakrik, this is the first time we're meeting you. Kaya, first time we're meeting you. We know that Zardakrik had been meeting with Dorek, who is the court wizard for the Duke. He's the one who first noticed of the abilities that you had. So you've been just sort of busy and off screen up until now. What do you think has caused you guys to turn back and catch up with Kira? Because that certainly is what's happened here. So Nimrice, I guess let's ask this. How did you feel about this plan? For all of you traveling and then leaving Sir Kira to travel on her own?
Yeah, I knew that was a bad idea.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm always careful, and I'm also the good brother, so I would want to make sure I take care of my larger family of brothers and sisters.
Okay.
So after a moment, I'm like, wait a second, actually, maybe this is not a good idea.
So maybe you guys get to one of the things we know so far is that at about the midpoint of the trip to Murdadoom, there is a cabin. If weather turns foul and you need to overnight somewhere before you head into the actual mountains, the Old Home Mountains themselves, there's a staging place there right near this bridge where Sir Kira found some, murder victims in her first session. What maybe you guys did is everyone sort of stayed there, for a moment, and then Nimrice, Zardakrik, and Kaya, you guys came back. Kaya, we do have to fill in Kaya afterwards too about Pig Stink, because Pig Stink is Kaya's contact.
And Pig Stink had some info, but Kaya hadn't been around, so I convinced him to tell me.
Yeah. So first, how do you guys think you would be? I think what you hear is the sound. You can picture you're making your way along down this trail, and then you would hear the sound of raised voices that you do not recognize. And let's do this. Let's get some dice rolling here, guys. At the top of each of your primary skills for Zardakrik, Nimrice, and Kaya is your perception skill. Why don't you guys each give us a perception skill? And you can picture as well, too, this is just surrounded by those high pine trees that we saw in the illustration. Okay, 90 from Kaya, 102 from Nimrice.
I don't have it at the top of my primary skills.
You don't? Hold on. I
have staff ride, attuning.
Who set up this goddamn... Oh, wait.
To the left of that, George.
To the left of that? I don't have... I have nothing to the...
Oh, he does not have it on there. Hold on. I fucked up on yours. Give me a sec. I can tell you.
Oh, it's 150? Oh, great. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it. Totally.
Your perception... you got two of those numbers right. Your perception bonus is a plus 15.
That makes more sense.
Okay, let's do this here.
Oh, you got it? Oh, thanks. Okay, great.
Yeah, no problem. Then what I can do is... Because you're one of the few ones who did not get any training, your spells are very expensive to learn. At least for the suite of things that you got there. So you should be able to roll that now.
Okay, here we go.
No.
Yep, that makes sense.
So unsurprisingly, Nimrice, you're the one who hears this. And I guess the question I have is, are you in elf form or half elf form, or are you in wolf form?
I'm in wolf form.
Nice. So that means you got a movement. I think I said, 110?
Yeah, it's 110.
Okay. So you're in wolf form. You've heard this from up ahead as you were, traveling along with Zardakrik and Kaya. Kaya, are you moving on the ground, or do you think that you are flying? It's fairly, dense in your base. Like, there's certainly more than enough openings for you to take off and land if you choose to.
I have a feeling that if the three of us, if this is kind of a let's go, bail them out kind of situation, I feel like her natural impulse would be to be flying.
Okay.
I'm imagining this more like leapfrogging from branches when I see branches that are kind of more exposed and that look strong enough, kind of like leaping between them. Maybe I don't know.
I think you're still quite like you're not. You definitely are like you got a big hollow bird chest, like a bigger chest. You're taller than a man, than a human, I should say, and your bones are hollow. So you don't weigh as much as what a human does, but you're still like 100 pounds at least, plus your gear.
Okay. All right, so I can't necessarily.
Well, you could.
So
I mean,
that's
like
fine.
it'll just be lower hanging branches. It's just you're not gonna be able to like on the perch on the top of them.
Yeah, for sure. Certainly not in a way that's unnoticeable, and that's also kind of going to be key. So I think I've got a good flight speed. I think I'm flying in. I would have taken off as we know that we're like reaching this. So
sure. Well, I don't think you. So that's the thing. You don't know, but I think first what Nimrice does. His ears. Nimrice, you're the first one to react to this. What do you do when you hear the voices up ahead? And I think you would recognize Jawar's accent. He's got that very unusual.
Yeah, he definitely recognizes that and cocks his head. And he starts sniffing.
Why don't you give us... do you have any lore history?
Lore? No, I do not.
You do not. Kaya, you did fairly well too. I think you do have lore history. Or lore regional, either of those.
I have lore history.
Yeah, give us a history check. So, you guys have 4 points of Astonishing Fortune. Would you like to re-roll that? That's a terrible one.
I don't know enough about this system and how important Astonishing Fortune is in the combat, so I think for now, I'm going to risk not knowing what I'm doing.
So you have no idea what voices it is that you're hearing. Let's do this.
Okay.
To organize our activities here, guys, let's have everyone now. You're going to have to roll it in chat. Take a look at what your initiative score is. It'll be 2d10 plus a number. Roll that in chat, and then I will update your thing. Is there anyone in here who shouldn't be? Nope. We got everybody.
10 plus
37. Holy shit.
2d10 plus 10. Oh wait.
Well, actually, I think you guys could fill in.
2d10 plus our. What was it again?
Whatever's listed on it's in the notes section of your character sheet on the bottom right.
Oh, 15. Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. I found it.
I
What's
can't
with the heavily armored knight always going last? Come on.
Let's see here.
That's weird.
Jeez, what kind of system is this?
If someone wants to roll for Jawar, he is 2d10 plus 35. Nimrice 28.
Nice.
Oh, that did come out right.
Holy smokes.
Still pretty good.
Okay, and then Kaya 20. Alrighty. So, each round in this is 10 seconds. So it's very much like Ash or our AD&D game, for that matter. So, Jawar is still kind of looking back and forth to figure out what, if there's a way out of this confrontation. I think he is going to hold for now. Zartakrek, I'll put you guys right at the top here to give you some room to move in here. I think you guys can spy. Well, picture that you at the end of last round had kind of come down like around a bend in the path, and you can see what's happening up ahead. The mercenary mage, I believe, I've named him so you can find what the handouts are if you want to see what these guys look like. But this is what this dude is looking like.
Yeah.
First thing we do, guys, is the start of our round, you decide if you're going to fight. So if you're going to be spending any time scrapping whatsoever, and that can just be on full defense, then you get to decide where you're assigning your offensive bonus, defensive bonus. Okay? Then what you want to do is figure out if you are doing anything other than fighting. Because if you're doing anything less than fighting, you need to subtract that penalty. So if, let's say you're going to move and then attack, that's a minus 50%. So if you move 50% of your movement, minus 50, you need to subtract that from your offensive bonus and then apportion it between offensive and defensive bonus. The game assumes that people are using defensive bonus unless they're either suicidal or they have an overwhelming advantage against their foes, like they're stunned and cannot parry. So to give you an idea of the tactical components of it, that's what you're going to want to be doing. For people who reasonably cannot be attacked, like say Kaya, if you're in the sky or you're in a position where people are unlikely to get to you, that's where it's safe to put more or all of your offensive bonus or your skill into your offensive bonus, so you're just getting a great attack off if that's what you're doing. Okay. Yeah, and then so you have to apply that penalty for how much of your action you're spending other than fighting. The one exception to that is if you're charging. If you're charging, you have to move at least a run, which means you can do a moving maneuver. And then for the up to 50 feet of straight line that you're moving, the 50 feet towards the target that you're moving, you actually get a bonus equal to the amount of feet. So you'll lose you're probably going to lose some action from like a penalty from the attack. Upside is you're going to offset that, so you'll be able to run in and attack. The downside is you take a penalty of an equal amount to your defensive bonus. So charging in this allows you to get around that penalty you get from moving and attacking, but it does leave you open for attack. So with that in mind, anybody who is attacking this round, and what I'll do is at the start of each round, I'll just give you an opportunity to set your OBDB if you're going to attack. If you guys are ready, then first we're going to go with 25% actions. And one little thing here too. This is one of these things that I read and I remembered. One of the things that Rolemaster does that I think is really interesting is they have this thing called a quick orientation roll. And what an orientation roll is if you're doing something like magically teleporting yourself, or you're going to tumble or whatnot, you need to spend a fraction of a time to kind of reorient yourself. And the upside to that is that if you're super badass with those particular skills, because that's what you built your character, then the mechanics allow you to feel like a badass of tumbling around, stabbing people and shit like that. But it doesn't let just anybody do that. And there's also an interesting risk-reward thing where you can spend 30% of your action and automatically orient, or 10% and roll. And then if you fail, you have to spend 30% to reorient yourself. So, Zarda Crick. The way we're going to go, guys, is swift action, standard action, long action. And that'll be 25%, up to 25%, up to 50%, up to 100%. Okay, so swift actions right now. Zarda Crick, any swift action?
No, and just to be clear, when you're casting a spell, how does the OBDB split work?
Not at all, because you're not attacking.
Okay, great. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
so
one of the things what you're going to be rolling, adding to your attack roll. If you're like say using one of your many bolt spells, right? Firebolt, shock bolt, water bolt, whatever. What you'll be doing is using your directed spells as effectively an attack, and you're going to look on a table very much like a weapon table, but it's not technically an offensive bonus, so you can't like defensively cast kind of stuff.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm casting a spell, so it's not 25%. So.
Okay. You do have 10% left over.
That's true.
So if you wanted to move, like I think it's like 5 or 10 feet, you could move.
Yes, and so just another point of clarification, I happen to be casting the shield spell, which is one of the asterisk spells, so it goes off in this round.
Yeah, so it goes off
90% or 70%?
No, so the what do you call it? Instant spells, they go off as a swift spell as if it's 10%, but they take 50. So it kind of goes off right away. You got to spend another 40%, kind of capture, reorient yourself, and then you can take another 50% action.
Okay, so in my swift action, I will cast shield, and now at 50, it'll go off.
Yes, and one thing, guys, we're doing last time that seemed to help. The green bar is out of 100. And when you take your action, if you take a swift action, you put in your percentage in there, so you can see the green bar go up, and as soon as it's filled, you're out of actions.
Okay.
Okay, so what does your shield spell look like?
I think it's made of force, so I think it's this translucent energy that emerges from my body, but it has like a liquidish kind of like warble to it, so it goes. and then
Nice.
disappears.
Okay. And then you can go ahead. Got your power points on this token as well. I don't know why they keep disappearing.
Yes. Yeah, it's
all right.
weird. I
Then
got
it
Thank you.
is the mercenary mage has no swift actions. Well, actually, he'll step as well. Oh, would he orient? No, I'm not going to cheat. He's going to step. Then the Oakford Giant. He is readying an action. He's leaning on that giant sword, waiting to see what's going to happen. Nimrice, got a swift action?
No, I'm going to charge.
Okay.
So I think that
Sir-
happens till the end.
Sir Eldon Trove, once again, points the sword at Sir Kira. Pull back your hood, or we'll pull it back for you. Lady Eustace just snarls. And I mean literally.
Oh, I like her.
Kaya, do you have a swift action?
How come I'm not in there?
No, I'm just kind of
You're next.
in the air. Oh, I guess I should probably try to move closer.
So
while I'm
again,
in the air?
like what you need to do is decide how much of your percentage movement, percentage of your action you're spending moving. If you're spending 100% of your time moving, you're going to go on the long action.
Right. Okay. So then, if I only wanted
Unless you
to,
have an action that is 25% or less, then you don't need to worry about this pass.
okay, then
This
no.
is like it's very similar to Ash, like how Ash has the different sequences in it. It's like that, where it's swift actions, standard actions, long actions.
okay. Then I think no.
Okay, Sir Kira, swift action.
Yeah, I think she's going to. She'll pull down her hood, and it's kind of a defiant throwback of the hood,
Nice.
and she'll shout out, "Want to fail again, Trove? I'll best you myself. Send your lackeys home."
Nice. You can see the snarl on Lady Eustace's face becomes a smile, or more of like a feral grin.
I don't see my name in the turn order. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, hold up.
You were there.
Oh, you know
I
what?
think
It's because
moved
I
you
think we did this before. There's some weird.
Well,
Can you see yourself
There's some
down?
kind of glitch with the token or something.
Yeah, because
Nah,
I
I
think
see him.
it doesn't carry over from one sheet to the other. Can you see yourself in there now?
Yeah, no, it appeared.
Got it. Okay, great. Then it is the Surrounding Mercenaries. Guys, I've marked the ones with arrows in their back are carrying light crossbows. The other ones are carrying swords and shields. Okay. They are beginning to...
How many points is talking, Kev? Or throwing down my hood. Is that like-
that's interact with object, isn't it? Isn't that like 10%? 10 or 20? Let's see here. If standing up from kneeling is 20, I think that's only 10. Shifting a weapon, so that'll be about 10%.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have standard actions, so 50%. Jawar is going to turn, and would someone kindly give us a... can't see your character name. Whose character name?
That was Dave for the thing you just fixed.
Oh, okay. Got it. Then Jawar turns and races over here to engage one of the Surrounding Mercenaries as a standard action. So
I think that's what we had talked about that last time before he...
Yeah. It kills... Jeff has... like I said, Jeff, I think, had the most enthusiastic response to Rolemaster of anyone. That's not true. John also, after we played a one-shot, was like, we gotta play this again. So Jawar goes racing over to that. Zardakrik, 50% action or less.
So that now my spell goes off at 50.
Yeah, so no. So here's the thing. The cool thing about this is it goes off at a 10, but it does take 50%. If your next action is a 50% or less, you can still take it now.
I see. So I don't have to be doing anything. I actually can do something else. It's doing its own
Exactly.
thing.
You're just going to be out of activity. Like you'll have been exhausted. So you can actually put yourself at 50% now in your green bar, and then if you have a standard action, like if you want to move half of your available movement, or
that is exactly what I want to do. And my movement is 70 feet, so that means I can move 35.
that is exactly it. Each square is 5 feet. Go ahead and move yourself. Then it is the Mercenary Mage, no standard action. Oakford Giant. Brings that giant sword up. If only I had friends who had swords ready at the hand. I swear between you two and John, we're going to be able to equip an entire militia. So the Oakford Giant is getting his sword ready. Nimrice, do you have a 50% action, or you got a full?
Would I move half of my move now?
If all you're moving is if all you're moving is half of your movement, then yes, you can do that now.
Okay.
It is you're out of movement then.
Oh, so I can't charge. Okay.
No, you can. Yeah. Like how far? You don't move half. If what you're doing is charging and attacking, that's going to be a long action.
Okay, so don't move yet. Okay, that's what I was trying to wrap my head around. Is
Absolutely.
How the movement was
You know what? It's one of the things I also went back to make sure I had clear my mind for how these things are working out. Then Sir Eldon grins, and he is going to move half of his movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, that's not right. 5. Madison, quit fucking cheating. And he starts stalking forward. Lady Eustace does the same. Then it is Kaya. Do you have a 50% action?
So again, just to be clear, I can move because of my flight speed. I can move up to 100 feet, and so if I were to use a 50% action, I could use 50 feet of that as my.
You got it first time, damn straight.
Okay.
One more wrinkle to this. You can choose to move at a different pace, and that multiplies your base speed. So if you run, I think run is like 3 times. You have to make a moving maneuver check then.
Andrew got it right, but Kev's going to make it really complicated.
Yeah.
You learn the basics, so now you're getting the extra stuff.
I feel I'm on.
If you've got yourself, if what you've got already is enough movement to do what you want, don't worry about it. But just remember, you can move at a faster rate than that. It doesn't take up more time. It just means that you have to make a moving maneuver check.
I can do that for flying as well.
Fuck yeah.
So hold on a second. Does that mean I can move up to 300 feet in a turn? What? Okay, screw this. Let's try this. This just sounds fun.
All right.
Do I sacrifice any? Well, that would be the end of my turn.
Wing cramp or something.
So no. All it does is let's take a look here.
And hold on. Does that mean I'm maxing out my percentage of my action then?
No. Because a moving maneuver is something that is rolled in concert with the action. So whatever the action is, that's going to.
This sounds like dirty. This sounds like I'm cheating because it's like I'm only using half my action, but I might get 3 times my movement.
Damn straight. No. That's called system mastery.
But you have to roll successfully to make it work. If you fail,
I mean, watch me fumble this. So
here's what I need from you.
Caught in a tree or something.
Do you have something on there called maneuvering in armor? It'll be under your primary skills. I have maneuvering
in soft leather.
Which is what you're wearing. Holy smokes. So
yeah, look at that.
You're going to go ahead and roll that. And then this will be, let's see here. What pace are you trying for? A fast run?
Yeah, I might as well do a fast run or flight, I guess, in my case. A fast run would be a light maneuver. So we're going to go ahead and make your roll, and then let's take a look on the moving maneuver chart. Okay. Oh, where'd my character sheet go? Okay, there we go. So rolling.
Yeah. 82. So if we look on the light maneuver chart, an 82 gives you 100%. So you have your base rate is now treated as 300. So if you're spending 50% of your action on this, you can move 150 feet. Where would you like to position yourself?
So that's 50. That's oh my god, it's 5 feet per square too, right?
Yep.
Jesus.
That is, I believe, 30 squares.
Okay.
I'm not going to be fussed if you want to just measure it and then just move yourself. It is completely fine.
I think. Hold on. Yeah, I think maybe I have to because this is nutty. If I go here. And then over to here, 150? Jesus. Okay, I don't need to go 150. I can go, oh my god, I can though. I can go way over to here.
Uh-huh.
Done.
Okay.
So it's that
as your 50% action, and then
I should have done that as I was. Okay.
Yeah, and then remember to mark 50% on your green bar as how much of your action that you've taken up. So Kira, Eldon Trove is moving towards you, and actually, I think you guys should be able to see their bars as well too.
Yeah, I can see the bars.
That's so ridiculous.
All right.
Just batshit.
Well,
I already love this system.
Sir Kira draws her sword.
Okay.
And I'd already put in my OB and DB for this round in case they get into range.
Is your shield out as well?
Yeah.
So then I'll give you for free. You shake it, and the thing that was covering up your crest falls off. And why don't you?
Or maybe it's a she draws her sword and just like slices it off.
Nice, love it. And remind the guys, what does the crest of the House Ventier look like?
Did we determine that yet?
Mm-hmm.
It was. I think it was a white watchtower with a waterfall behind it. So it was like white on blue, and it had some chevrons in the top right and bottom left quadrants.
Nice. Then it is the Sorallan mercenaries. All right, so I'm going to have to spend 10% to change my action because 2 of these are going to fire now. And let's see here. We'll get one shot. Kaya. How far away are you? 105 feet away. All right. What is your defensive bonus? So here's how I calculate it. If I'm not sure, the OBDB stuff, that's part of it, but you also have a natural defensive bonus.
Okay, so under defenses,
Yep.
I have my defensive bonus is 15.
Yep.
Does armor factor in?
No, armor type, the way that this game works is you'll see that on the charts that we've got for the weapons, there's a 20 different armor types that are along the cross in 5 different columns. Those are no armor, soft leather, rigid leather, chainmail, and plate mail. And then there's 4 within each of those. Your armor type just tells you how effective certain spells or weapons or whatnot are against those things.
There's a distance penalty. Does that factor in here?
Well, it will, but that will... see, look, he already knows the system so well. He's...
I'm already trying to game it. No.
Exactly. No, it's exactly what you should be doing. So, let's see, we're 105 feet away. So I got plus 105 is enough to give minus 35. So your defensive bonus is 15. Did you put any of your... actually, you can't parry against range attacks. So your defensive, whatever parrying bonus you're getting from your weapon attack is not going to apply. Let's have George. I'll have the one before that. Would you give me, please... so I've got minus 50 from the defensive things. They have a plus 60 to hit in their full OB right now. George, 1D 100 plus 10, please. Exclamation mark on
109.
Oh my god! Oh shit! All right, so George, would you kindly give us another? You have helpfully demonstrated to us that the exploding dice that are present in this game.
So it's just another D100,
please,
with another exploding dice.
Yep,
possibly. Okay.
Oh my god! What's your armor type, Kaya?
I believe it was leather. Yeah, leather jacket.
Oh, it should say a number.
That's a 5.
Oh, it's a 6.
A 6, okay. So AT6. Oh, Jesus. This is, so first off, you're taking 25 points of damage, and you are taking an E puncture critical.
So, Kev, why don't you show us how criticals work?
And he's like, I love this game.
Yeah. So, folks at home, remember when I said that this was a DM who was trying to give you the character a little bit of longevity?
George, would you kindly give us a D100 roll, please?
All right. Is that exploding as well?
No, just not exploding.
Okay.
Yeah. 79.
Yeah.
79 E critical. Ooh. Strike foe's weapon arm. Bone is broken.
Wow.
Foe
Wow, wow,
is
wow.
stunned and unable to parry for 3 rounds, plus 10 hits.
It also means I'm not able to shoot now.
Yeah, and this is so you're flying across. They see you, thunk, unload with one of the crossbows, and it sinks into your arm. So now what you do is in the middle, you see where there's the wounds in the center of the first page?
Yep.
Put
Add
in there
one.
broken. What do you think is your dominant arm, your right arm, left arm?
No, you're gonna make it be my dominant arm because it's gonna be like that.
Says weapon arm, and the way the game
Yeah,
works,
fair.
weapon arm is your
Fair.
dominant arm, shield arm is your serving
And you know
arm.
what? It wouldn't even matter because for a bow user like me, both arms need to be fully functional. 'Cause,
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah,
So I guess broken bow arm.
Yeah, broken right arm. Well, right or left, whatever one is your weapon
yeah.
arm. And then you also, so you're stunned for 3 and unable to parry for 3 rounds, and you take plus 10 hits, so 10 more hits as well. It's a thwack.
wow.
You're just hit right in the arm by this thing. Now, that all sounds pretty bad, right?
Let me guess. It can get worse.
Nope, it can get better.
Oh.
You can spend a point of astonishing fortune to negate the crit.
All of that?
The damage you'll take, 25, but you can
Right.
negate the crit.
I think we should save it, Andrew. I don't know.
Yeah, it's 9:24. We probably ought to hold on to that.
Hey,
You don't need to do anything to figure it out.
if you guys are fine with me being completely useless in the first game, great.
No.
So
No.
if I do that and I negate the critical, that means I take the 25, but not
That
the
means-
additional 10,
Bingo.
and I don't break my arm.
And you
I'm
don't
not
get an
stunned.
arrow through your arm, precisely.
Yeah, sure. Let's freaking do that.
That was an adventure till I got an arrow through my arm.
Exactly.
It's a really
an arrow
hard
in your
choice you're giving me here.
All right, so that does give us a wonderful sampling of how cool and evocative the crits can be in this. So, and
Happy
you
to be
can
of service.
take that wound off of you. Yeah. No one's going to want to sit next to George anymore. Okay, no, you sit.
No. Yeah.
All right, then we have one more that is going to be firing at Cerventier. Cerventier, what is your DB? You're not going to be able to apply your shield because you're probably focused forward. I think you have a 20 without your shield, right? Because your breastplate?
Yeah, just 20 for the breastplate.
20 for the breastplate, and what's the range to you? You're over 160 feet, so that's short range, so no modifier. George, Will, would you kind of give us a 1d100 exclamation mark plus
Oh, you want the bang? Okay.
plus 40?
100. Come on now. Where you at? There you are.
We
Plus
go.
40.
And
Hopefully that'll roll right. We
it did, yep. What's your armor type? You said 18? Dave?
My armor type is 18.
18, okay. 116 with 18 is 9 and an A piercing. Would you kind of give us another percentile roll? Well, just a flat percentile.
All right. Flat percentile.
Yeah,
This time.
non-exploding.
Come on, baby. There we go. 100 bang.
Awesome. Literally, this is what it reads. Zip. So I think it ting, one of those, you hear the thwack of the crossbow firing from behind you, Sir Kira. It rattles off of your breastplate, but apart from the minimal concussive damage, what did I say, 9 damage?
Yeah, you said 9, 8 piercing.
9 damage. You take 9 concussive, but no critical effects. Then top it on Jawar. So Jawar's going to be keeping that Seralan mercenary occupied. Zartakrik?
So can I use, like, for example, a full perception, which is a 30%?
Well, hold on here. Did you move?
I did move half my movement.
So that's 50% action. You prorate whatever percentage of your movement that you're moving is how much of your total available action is taken.
So when so that means I'm at 100. That would mean I'm at 100%.
That means
basically.
you're out of action points.
So basically, I cast the spell, then I wait the 40% to get to 50 till the shield goes off.
This is all sort of
and
happening simultaneously. Like the spell
Perfect.
goes off, it takes you a little bit of what the 40% is you recovering from the immediate action of it, but it still doesn't prevent you from taking if it's a standard action, taking that right away. So you sort of got that up and you've gone forward, but you're out of things to do this round.
Yeah.
Mercenary Mage, you can see that there is power beginning to form around him. He's beginning to cast a spell. That son of a... the Oakford Giant is... I think going to start advancing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So that's all him. Plus 50. Nimrice, what are you doing?
What is this, 75%? So I'm still technically not doing anything.
No, 100%. 50, then 100. So anything...
Oh, this is the 100%. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm charging the Mercenary Mage.
Fuck yes. How far do you got to go?
I think it's 85 foot. He might have...
85? Yep, no problem. So then...
I think it's 85.
Yeah, so you're going to get plus 50. Yep. Holy smokes. And you're going to go in and bite him, I take it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know I've got the 3 attacks, but they all do the same thing. So, yeah, bite is fine.
Well, actually, bite doesn't, because you use a different table for your bite.
Oh, okay. Was it a better table, Kevin?
Sometimes. It can be. Depends how you roll. So what is... We'll just use the attack rate for your staff. For this, so you go racing in. You're going to get... Oh, fuck. So because he's unaware of you... again, like one of the things that I do like about Rolemaster as well is that unless you're spending time to kind of like reorient yourself with your surroundings, you're aware of what's happening directly in front of you, and that's it. So he doesn't have any clue that you've come charging in wolf form. He's going to have a 0 defensive bonus against you. You're going to get plus 50 to hit, but you also spent 50% of your action moving, so it comes out in the wash. So go ahead and roll your staff, and we'll just apply this, and it's 0 dB.
Okay.
We'll apply this against your bite. And sorry, I'm going to load the bite thing for you between now and the next session as well, too.
Yeah, I think you wrote on here it's got a plus 30, so...
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Hold on. Okay, my bad. So yeah, just roll the staff.
Please do, or the bite. Whatever one, either.
So,
okay.
Enemy DB, don't worry about. So it's a 104.
Yeah, getting bit by... oh! Jesus! So, 104, here's what you get. Because he just has a robe on, it is 25 damage and a B slashing critical.
Does it do anything to his spell, Kev?
Well, let's see what the slash does. And we'll see if it takes out all of his concussion hits. Give us just a flat percentile roll.
Flat percentile now.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You can spend Astonishing Fortune to re-roll that if you want.
Yeah, I was going to say, can I do that?
Yes, you can. Any percentile rolls, you can go.
So, come on, give me a good one this time.
48.
That'll work.
So B48 is blow to foe's back. Foe must parry next round, which means no more casting spells, and plus 4 hits. But here's the thing. Your hit is so hard on him, it takes all of his concussion hits. He is knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
So he sort of at the last second sees this wolf and wham, slams into him. The mercenary mage is completely unconscious. Sir Eldon Trove has 50% left. He's not getting charged. He's just going to hold for the rest of the round. Lady Eustace has all of her weapons ready now too. Kaya, what are you doing? You have 50% left?
Yeah, since I no longer have a broken arm, or I never got a broken arm, can I take a shot at Lady Udis?
Absolutely. So, Lady, would you give us... you said you never made any effort to try and hide yourself, so she would be aware...
Well, I assume I only had the one movement action, so I couldn't do that and also try to hide on that turn.
You can't run and stalk as well, too. So
this was more about speed than anything.
Absolutely. So you go swooping in and you land. She sees you, so she is going to be able to apply...
can I fire from the air?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather stay up if I can.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you are going to take, because you spent 50% of your action moving, you are going to take minus 50 to your attack roll. And then Lady Eustace has a defensive bonus of 35, including her shield. So you're going to take a total of, when you click on your weapon skill, put minus 85 in there.
Okay.
Not minus 85. Just put 85 when it asks you for the defensive bonus.
Okay. All right. So I do that from the weapon skill, not from the primary skills.
Correct. Yeah, because then it'll
Okay.
prompt you for the defensive bonus.
All right. Okay. Enemy defensive bonus. So 85 total.
85 total. Yeah, that includes your movement penalty and everything else. It's still 88. So her armor type is 15 because she's got some chain on. 88 gives you
Bunk.
7 concussion hits. So it doesn't get through armor. That's not, yeah, it wasn't a decent roll. So she takes some concussion hits. But that's really it. Then, so all of your action is taken up now, Kaya.
Yep.
Sir Kira, 50% left. What are you doing?
She's only got 50 left, so she probably. I was actually just going to hold and defensive, but now things are changing. I've got Jawar moved away, and Kaya appears out of nowhere and thunking with a crossbow.
Yeah.
And then I see Nemrice probably, in the background killing the mage.
Oh yeah, and like you can see, it's like that illustration of him. He's beginning to see like fire and shit is forming around him, and suddenly this wolf takes him out.
Yeah. So with 50% of my action left,
Yep.
I can't move. Can I move and attack?
You
and
could
would
spend,
that
because you didn't decide that, remember, it's 10% to change your action.
10% to change my
So
action.
you spend, so basically 40% of your move you could still take, which would be, 20? 20 feet still?
So 5, 10, so 20, 15 feet would get me to there.
Absolutely.
And then I could take a swing at Dingleberry.
Well, no, because that'll be the rest of your action.
Oh, that's okay. So that's where
Yeah,
it's my
because you
action.
need minimum 50% to make the attack. But what that will do, though, is remember 100%. If you want to have without penalties for movement and shit, if you want to be in contact with Lady Eustace or Eustace to make that next attack, that's how you get there.
I think I'm going to. She's going to change her mind. She's going to move, but
Yep.
she's going to actually move the opposite direction.
Okay.
Because Jawar is also by himself back here, and I don't know who else is here if there's anybody. So
Yeah.
So
and the surround mercenary would have actually moved up on
10
him.
penalty. I'll move 30.
Okay. That's how
takes
changing
her-
your action. Like you sort of, it's like our AD&D game where you kind of have to have in your mind what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think everyone's had their full actions then, guys. We're top of the round. Go ahead and decide if you're fighting in melee, assign your offensive bonus, defensive bonus, and remember to apply the penalty if you're going to move and attack.
Okay.
So now is the mage unconscious?
Yep.
So is he basically out of combat, or do I need to go
He's
ahead
out of
and
combat.
rip
No,
his
it's
throat
not
out?
like Champions where you got to like punch everyone who falls down.
Right.
No. He's
Okay,
out for.
so-
I think it's at least a minute. So like he's, and you can clear out your green bars if you like to, guys. Then once again we go through for Swift out. Has everyone's good to go for their OBDB?
M now.
Okay.
Oh, we don't re-roll.
Nope. We just go through the same pass.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
What you can do is choose to spend, I think it's a 70% or 80% action to reset your initiative, and then you just act as if you rolled a 20. So one of the ways you can move yourself up in the initiative order is by doing that. So Jawar is grappling or scrapping with this one guy here. Then Zardakrik, do you have any swift actions?
So just to be clear that I'm doing this correctly, if I'm going to start preparing this spell, it's going to take me 2 rounds to prepare, and then the 3rd round will cast. I then have 10% left over to move. Can I do the movement first?
Yes, you can. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going to do 10% of movement first.
Okay, go ahead.
So
you're starting
really
to inch forward.
It's 5 feet, yeah.
I'm going to take the mercenary mage out of the order here because he's out of the fight. The Oakford giant did hear the sound of that happy snarl from the wolf. Turns around. I am going to spend 10% of his action doing that, though. Then, do you have a swift action, Nemrice?
No.
Eldon Trove is no swift action. Lady Eustace, no swift action. Kaya, you have a swift action, 25% or less?
No.
Sir Kira, 25% or less.
Yeah, I was going to taunt. Is that a action?
Yeah, it's up to 30. Well, who are you trying to taunt here?
Eldon.
Eldon, okay. Why don't you give us, what skill do you think you're going to be using? Oh, hold on, isn't skill use like 100%?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, so that'll be a long action then, if that's what you're planning on doing.
Okay, so then it doesn't, okay, so I don't do anything till later on after the 50%.
Yeah. Then let's see here. Surround mercenaries. Everything they're doing is longer. So we're into standard action. 50% or less. Zardakrik is going to be 90, so no. Oakford Giant. No. Nemrice, 50% or less.
Now, would this be where I would move half my move so I could then attack for the end, or would I hold all of
if you're
that?
not planning on charging, then yes, you could just move.
Okay, so half my move is what, 110, 55. So.
Yeah, 50 without running. 55 without running.
4, 5, 6, 7,
Okay.
8. Yeah, that gets me right there beside him.
Sir Eldon is going to be taking a long action. Eustace is taking a long action. Kaya, got a standard action, 50% or less?
I might as well stay moving, be a moving target, and hopefully that makes me a little bit more difficult to hit.
Yeah, I think you need to move, in order to stay airborne, you need to move at least half of your move.
So
I can't
another
hover.
50%, so another 50.
Yeah.
I'm not going to press my luck this time. I'm just going to move the 10 squares.
Okay.
Because even that's ridiculous.
It's pretty awesome.
Do we still do the same, like every second diagonal counts as 2?
No, just count it as 1. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're moving 50%, I'll let you get that done. Sir Kira, 50% or more? Or less?
Not or less, no.
Okay. Surround mercenaries. We've got, they're going to be doing long actions. Then Jawar, I think he's going to take this. I'm just going to count him as out because Jawar's got an insane bonus. Sarge, Crick, so you started moving forward and you began casting your spell. So 1 round of concentration is over with. And the Oakford Giant. He was intending on charging you, but he did not move at all, so he's just going to attack you.
That sounds like the name of a mascot.
Yeah. All right, so let's see here. Next to you is Andrew. Andrew, what is your defensive bonus right now, Nemrice?
Defensive bonus, I suspect, is a 15.
Okay, so 15, you put nothing in from your bite?
So that would have been like a split, right?
Yes.
So 15, and then that would be, or excuse me.
So the way your
25.
defensive bonus is so if you're putting any of your skill into defending yourself, that's called parrying. So there's going to be a parry bonus that comes from your split in your weapon skills, and then you also have a base defensive bonus that comes from magic items and your agility.
Yeah. So my base defensive bonus is 15, and then I put another 10 in from the body.
All right, so your defensive bonus is at 25.
Mm-hmm.
So then, let's see here. Andrew, would you give us a 1d100 exclamation mark plus, you said 20, you said 25 total, we said?
25 total, yes, sir.
Plus 80.
Roll. So, okay. All right. Hopefully I formatted that correctly.
Okay. Oh, shit. You did formulate that correctly. What is, so in wolf form, what's your armor type?
AT3.
AT3, okay. So then, holy shit. Two-handed sword, 43, and an E slashing critical.
Okay.
Andrew, would you give us a flat 1d100 roll, please?
Yikes.
87. Oh my god.
Sorry.
Sever foe's leg.
Oh no.
Plus 15 damage. Foe drops and lapses into unconsciousness. Foe dies in 9 rounds. Plus 10 to your next swing. I'm gonna guess.
Will's using an astonishing point, I think. I wonder.
Yeah.
He's already typing it.
All right, so he hits you like,
typing.
with this sudden strike. He doesn't manage to get the blade off on you. He hits you with the flat of it, or you maneuver yourself, but it knocks the fucking wind completely out of you. Because you're down below a third of it, you've got minus 30. It's minus 10% for every 25% of your concussion hits you lose. You have minus 30 to your actions right now until you catch your breath. Unless you use spells or herbs to recover your concussion hits.
Yeah.
Okay, so wham, he hammers you, but that easily could have cost you a leg. Nemrice, your turn. What are you doing? Long actions.
I'm gonna bite this son of a
Bite his mamma jamma. All right, so his
minus 30, so
defensive
that's a
bonus
10.
is going to be, let's see here. It's going to be 45, so it'll be a total of minus a defensive bonus of 75 total. So go ahead and make your bite, and at 75 is the defensive bonus. Come on.
Okay. So.
Here we go.
Why did I'm not clicked in the box to change the number. That would help. There you go.
Oh, okay. So you try and get in, but I think he just knocked you too far off your balance. Then Eldon Trove is going to charge Kira. Or Sir Kira, yep. So only getting 30. Yeah! Runs in on you.
Let me get the calculator out for my defensive bonus.
Yeah, what is your defensive bonus? Or are you just doing that?
119.
Your defensive bonus is 119 right now? Holy shit. All right, so let's see here. So Eldon Trove, he's getting plus 35, which actually just is a minus 15 because of his movement. So it's, you said 119?
Yeah.
Okay, 15, it's 4. So minus 144, but he has put 60 into it. Would you, Will, would you mind giving us a 1d100 exclamation mark plus or minus
Couldn't handle Rolemaster.
and we're yeah, critical hit. For those listening at home, my apologies. All right, so that is 1d100 exclamation mark minus 60 or 64.
Oh, 60. Okay.
Yep. 29. All right. So clatters in. Dave, would you give us a percentile roll, please?
Me?
Yes, please. Oh boy. All right. So weapons clatter together. Dave, would you give me one more percentile roll? Exclamation mark. Okay. So it hammers your shield as you get your defenses up. Lady Eustace is screaming. She was going to charge Kaya, but cannot do that, so she's going to spend 10% to change her action. And then we'll move over. That's another minimum 10, so that's 20% of her action she's got gone right now. And would, let's see here. Andrew, would you give us a 1d100 minus, or actually plus 1d100 plus 40, please. Why do you guys hate each other so much? All right, that
Just trying
is
to channel our Rolemaster.
Yeah, really. 15 and a D crushing critical. So Nimrice is for sure going to be rendered unconscious. She brings his mace down, flunk, onto the wolf. Andrew, would you give us a D100 roll, please? No, not exploding.
And do.
55.
See, that's lower.
That is lower. Blow to chest plus 10 hits. So, Nemrice, you have broken ribs, which impose minus 15 to attacks. So, Nemrice, because you've lost all your concussion hits, you are now unconscious. So she walked
Oh, she
up.
attacked me. My
She
bad.
attacked you. Yeah. She slammed into the side.
I missed that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Kaya, do you have a long action? You have or anything else left to do this round?
I could try to shoot again.
You have not reloaded yet. Remember, 20% to reload.
Oh crap! Okay, then I can't do that because that's a 20% action, and that has to be done during the quick phase, doesn't it?
You can choose to take swift actions later in the round. The advantage is you can act before other people. So
Sure. Okay. Well, then I'll take this part of the round and do 20% to reload my.
And as an example of what you could do is, because it sounds like you thought you were going to shoot, you could spend 20% to reload, which would leave you 30% left over. If you're changing your mind now, spend 10% because you got to change your action, and then take 20 more to move another however much you can move. 20% of your movement.
Okay, so I can use up the remaining 30 to change my action,
And then move for 20% of
feet.
your available move.
Okay.
Okay.
That's supposed to be 100.0.
Okay. Then, Sir Kira.
So this is the under 50 round still?
This is final.
Final. Okay.
Yep.
So,
Long
because
action.
Sakura she was totally surprised when her friends showed up. So, she was going to hopefully not show that and taunt Eldon Trove and his sister with, "You've fallen into my trap. My friends knew you were coming, and now they've come to crush you." And she's going to use her public speaking skill to try and get them to surrender.
Sure. So go ahead and give us a. Now this is gonna be I think. Where's our static maneuver chart here? This guy fucking hates you, so this is gonna be quite a hard check. So I'll give minus. Minus 30 to your roll.
Okay.
So give us how'd you do?
So 63.
Yeah,
'Cause
I don't think
he's not paying attention.
He's not. He's trying to kill you. Then, Sorrel and mercenaries. They are spending their whole round starting to reload their crossbows.
Where does Jawar go in this?
Jawar took out one of them.
Okay.
Yep. Then, end of the round, guys. Let's assign your OBDB for the round. Nemrice has. You guys can see. I think Kaya, you have the best vantage. Did you want to move your? Oh, did you move yourself further?
I did. Yep.
So you heard a yelp as Nemrice has been taken down, and there are two massive and brutal figures standing over him.
But one of them's hot.
Kind of, yeah. See,
Psychopathic, crazy.
I
women.
know, it's so funny. Crazy women.
yeah. All right. Then it is. Has everyone assigned their points? What I'll do is this. I don't think any of them have swift actions. Does anybody have swift actions this round?
I'm gonna do 10% movement.
Go ahead.
There we go.
Okay. No one else does. Doesn't look like. Okay, so then we're on a standard action, 50% or more.
That's an
Sorry,
attack. if you don't have
50%
to
or
move.
less.
That's an attack if you don't have to move, correct?
But if you're not spending 100% of your action on the attack, you take a minus to your roll equal to the percentage that you're not using.
Okay, so I can attack first with a penalty or wait and attack without a penalty.
You got it.
Okay.
And if I were to have used that 20 feet to land on those rocks,
Yep.
I don't need to keep movement in order to stay.
You
So
don't
I
need
don't
to
need to
spend
use
movement to
anything for
stay in the
movement
air,
now.
and you don't take that penalty for moving.
Right, so I can just put 100% of my
Yep.
to my shot.
One of the things that's cool about missile
This
attacks
should be-
only take
this should be
50% of
zero.
your action.
Yeah.
Really.
Yep.
So does that mean?
You
I
get
can shoot
five.
twice.
Reload and shoot in the same round.
Yep.
Well, no, because it takes 20% to reload
And 50 to shoot.
and 50 to shoot. So,
And then 20 to reload and be ready for the next round.
oh, okay, cool.
There's a
Yeah.
reason your bow is quite as good as it is. Okay.
because otherwise, then that means I wouldn't necessarily be able to shoot. I can only shoot once a turn and reload. That's literally, and that's all my action.
Sorrel and Mercenaries, the activity percentage, take a look at what it is for light crossbows. That's 170%. They're not firing for another round and a half.
Whew.
Yep. Then, all right, so we got Jawar is, so if we don't have any standard actions, this is a 50%. You did reload and land. Well, Kaya, you could shoot if you like.
Yeah, I might as well try to shoot then. Although my targets are all in combat, I'm assuming that
no
this
penalties
game also
for firing
has...
into melee.
Oh well, then that's beautiful. It's like they almost don't want us to hurt each other. Okay.
Who are you shooting at?
Will, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Could I help my sister out and shoot at the trove?
You can, but again, you just saw Rice go down.
Yeah. That's true. He's gone. He's down.
Yeah.
I will continue to shoot at Udis.
Now that you've seen these guys, you are 100% familiar with Lady Eustace, and the Oakford Giant is just a big tough guy, but Lady Eustace is a fucking crazy, like, complete psychopath.
Right. Okay. So I will shoot at her.
Okay.
So I guess I don't have any penalty from movement.
Nope.
What's her...
60 feet away. She has her back turned to you, which means she's not getting her defensive bonus. Or she's not getting her shield bonus, which is a 20. Right. So she is only getting 15%. 15. Or not 50%, 15. What is... And your composite bow is 20... no modifiers, up to 100 feet. So whatever, go ahead and roll your composite bow attack
and with 15.
15 is your DB, yeah.
Okay.
Holy shit!
Nice.
Wow.
Okay, so that the way it works is you go to the top of the chart, which is 150 on each of these, and then you start going again from the bottom. So right now, against her armor type is 15. That's a 22 and an E puncture critical. So let's roll that. Give us another percentile roll. And you want to either roll very high on this or a 66.
Nope.
Well, that still could be quite good. E puncture critical is, here we go, 45.
I'm assuming a 66 is
thigh strike.
special.
If foe has leg armor, plus 3 hits, she does because she's wearing. She's wearing that. So what you could do is spend Astonishing Fortune to re-roll that if you choose. You only have 1 point left, but we are 4 minutes off from the end of the session.
Yeah, we're fixing to...
If there are no objections,
Do we need it?
Do it.
Do we need it for Will's character though? We don't know.
No. Will's not dead yet.
Not dead yet.
Yeah.
it's going to take more than getting to 0 hit points to die in this game.
So give us a percentile roll.
Okay, come on. So it's 66. I'm assuming. Oh, look at that.
62.
Yeah, that was close.
Okay, so now, do you have on your character sheet something called ambush?
Would this be under primary
skills?
Yes,
yeah.
I do.
What's the number for ambush?
It's not very high.
What is it?
It's a 5.
But here's the thing with ambush. What it allows you to do is change the number you rolled for criticals if you're attacking when the target's unaware. So let's say that you'd position yourself so that she would be unaware and you bump it up to 66. What that says...
Wait, so I don't apply the 5. I can apply
up to 5.
Up to 5.
Do you apply 4?
Strike
apply 4.
through both of foe's lungs.
Oh my god.
Foe drops and passes out. Foe dies in 6 rounds. And plus 10 to your next attack.
I think maybe yes. I will use ambush.
So she...
I mean, I was always planning on ambushing.
Hammers the side of,
to do this.
The Oakford Giant clipped him, and then she comes up and turns, and we hear a fuck. And as she turns to speak to him, she opens her mouth, and blood just kind of... and she drops down, dying in 1 minute.
Wait, despite... who the fuck cares about all our HP that's remaining? This is a
critical-driven system.
Oh my god. I say no to your lungs, and I say fuck you.
Yep. All right. So then we are into, I think Kai was the only one who had a 50% action. Everyone else is on a long action. Is that right? Okay, so I'm going to say Jawar takes another one of these chumps down because he's fucking crazy. Zardakrik, long action. What are you doing?
I completed my second round of preparation for my spell that's going to go up next round.
Excellent, excellent. The Oakford Giant cries out, "Arr!" and staggers. Well, he'll have to spend 10 to go over and drops his longsword and crouches down to try and do something with her. Let's see here. Andrew took her down. Sure. Or Dave, you haven't been rolling for any money yet. Dave, give us a percentile roll, please. Exclamation mark. This is going to be his first aid check to try and stabilize her. Oh no, she's dying!
Yay!
Nimrice, you're still unconscious.
Yep.
Sir Eldon Trove. Oh, he's acting before you. All right, so he spins that thing. What is your DB this round, Sir Kira?
90.
90, okay. So then, let's see here.
Because I figured, he couldn't hit me, so he's going to really crank it up.
Now, is 90 inclusive of your 40? Because you have 20 from your... Yes? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Look at you, old hats at this, guys. Jeez. So he is going to be jacking up his attack. So he is adding... actually, it'd be minus 10. Will, would you give us 1d100 exclamation mark minus 10?
All right.
Ooh. Against armor type 18?
18, yeah.
18. 3 concussion hits. That's it. It rattles you a little bit. And then Lady Eustace is dying. Kaya, if 50% left, what are you doing with the rest of your action?
Reloading.
Okay. Sir Kira, what are you doing?
Smacking Sir Eldon back.
Please do. Okay, so Sir Eldon has a total defensive bonus of 55. Oh no! Are there no astonishing fortune left?
Negative.
Oh no! I stole it.
No astonishing fortune left.
Oh no! Okay, so that is a fumble. Dave, would you give us a flat D100 roll, please?
I'm getting to see both ends of this stick today.
Yeah, 72. Lose your grip and juggle your weapon for 2 rounds. Unfortunately, you cannot parry. So you hit against his thing, it rattles down your arm and kind of like, shit. So you're going to be spending 2 rounds not parrying and trying to get your weapons straight. The Servalan mercenaries are still finishing reloading their weapons. And that brings us to the end of the round. Guys, are we able to go through one quick more round so George can cast a spell?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Everyone assign your OBDB. Unfortunately, you cannot parry, which means you have 0 parry. You still get your other defensive bonus, Sir Kira.
But can I even attack, or does it just mean...
No, you can't. That's the only action you can take are moving maneuvers, but you take them at minus 75.
Full disclosure, I'm still, when you say assign your OBDB, I will admit I have not really been following. I don't follow you.
It only really comes if you are. So what it means is, what you do at the start of each round is you figure out if you're going to be fighting in melee and you're doing anything other than attacking, then you figure out what that percentage of that action is going to be, and that's going to be your penalty. Take that away from your skill of whatever you're attacking with. Then take that skill and assign it between offensive bonus and defensive bonus for the round.
Okay, but if you're not, if all you're doing is literally just a standard kind of attack action, then that doesn't necessarily apply.
So let's say if your character was in melee using your raptor, your talon fighting or whatever I called it. Yeah. If you're using that, that's where you would want to put some of your skill mod, whatever. Like let's say your skill is 90, you might want to put 40 into defensive bonus, 50 into attack. So attacks against you will take minus 40.
Right. For me, that doesn't apply though because I can't parry. I don't have a shield, so I can't parry
You don't need
against
a shield.
ranged attacks.
Shield
anyway.
is actually free defensive bonus, and the thing about shields is you can parry against missile attacks.
Right. What I mean is I don't think I am equipped with one, so I don't have a.
But the thing is if you were in melee, you still could put that in. That's that parry bonus that we've been talking about.
Okay.
So like it comes out of my sword, Andrew. I've got 109 in sword, and at the beginning of the round, I just determine how much of that 109 goes into parrying and how much is going into attacking.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so everyone's assigned. Jawar is not going to be doing anything. Then we have... all right, so swift actions, guys. Anyone have any swift action, 25% or less?
So because I'm casting the spell on this round, that's 75%, so I do have 25%, so I will use that to move 15 feet.
Please do. Okay, so you're staggering forward as this is coming together. Anyone else have swift action? I don't think so.
I had a question, Kev.
Yeah.
Can I abandon my sword and do something else?
No, because the aspect of the fumbles, that's what you're doing is...
Okay, so that's set because that's the fumble. Okay,
Exactly.
That's totally fair.
Okay, so then, and that'll be 100% action for you. Then it is, if no one else has any swift actions, standard actions, 50% or less. No?
Well, no, yeah, I will, because I can now shoot at the giant.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can reload again after.
Yep. And the giant has a DB of 20. He can't otherwise put anything. He doesn't have a shield, and parrying with a two-handed sword, very ineffective against arrows. Incidentally, against smaller weapons as well, too. Two-handed weapons can only put 50% of their OB into defenses. It's harder to parry a dagger with a thing.
Now, this is a similar situation last round. He's paying attention to Nemris, or not looking at me. Can I add an ambush point to this now, or is that after the fact?
Two things. For one, ambush is only added to critical rolls, not to your attack rolls.
Okay.
And then the second thing is he certainly fucking knows about you now.
Sure, fair enough.
You just shot.
Yeah,
you turned her into a bastard kebab.
Yep. So 20, you said for the DB?
20 is the DB. Yeah.
Okay.
So holy
Nice.
shit. All right. So composite bow. Now he does have a shit ton of armor on though. So 18, 19, which means 129 against 19.
I should be down to 50 hit points. What am I doing?
So that is 10 and B puncture. So subtract that here. Go ahead and give us a percentile roll. This is a B puncture critical. 66!
Hey.
Jesus!
Same effect.
Holy shit! So 66.
You are now the piercer.
Strike shatters elbow in foe's weapon arm. Plus 3 hits. Arm is useless. Foe is stunned for 4 rounds and cannot parry for 2, which means he will recover in time to watch her bleed out for 10 seconds. So, and also, he's got a two-handed weapon. You've just effectively disarmed him.
Well then.
All right.
All right. I love this game already.
So that was a standard action. Zarda crit.
It's great when the crits are going your way.
Well, true.
And we have astonishing fortune.
True. Although I've also seen, because I've also experienced the opposite end of it this game. So
That's right.
it almost didn't go well for
I don't
me
think
either.
you've experienced it like I have.
No, that's
All
fair.
Nemrice is doing is showing, giving you the opportunity to show how fucking badass some of those herbs are.
Right.
So, we're now into long action. So, Zarda Crick.
Okay, so I probably should have alerted you to what spell I was casting when I first started casting it, but it's Sleep 7, which I don't know if it will be effective, but I'm casting it on Elden Trove. I am just within the range of it.
Oh, that's so good.
Range. That's why I was moving a little bit at a time.
So, first thing we need to do is we need to see how. Let's see here, your base spell attack modifier. So, first off, we have. So your level is +5. What is the range to the guy?
It's 100 feet.
100 feet. Okay, so...
And he's about 90 from me.
So what does it say on there? Base spell attack. 100 is minus 10. Okay, so what we're now going to do is I'm just figuring out what the modifiers are here for your thing. So minus 10, but then you get plus 5, I think, because you're pure caster. So it's minus 5. Give us a percentile roll. Open.
Okay.
Oh no, not open-ended. Just a regular percentile roll at minus 5.
Minus 5.
Oh, fuck. All right, so what this means is, so he does have metal armor on. He's going to have plus 45 to his resistance roll.
Yeah, well, somehow it would have resulted in a critical hit to myself to cut my head off, even though it's a sleep spell.
No.
At least that didn't happen.
Let's do this, because you haven't had a chance to make a thing. Let's say you're unleashing with a lightning bolt. Because you're lightning your... what do you call it? Because I think he's also a little bit higher level than you too. So like
I figured he was.
The chance, yeah, that's. Yeah. Well, let's make a roll. Let's see if he would have resisted. So,
Sure.
Looking at the resistance roll table here. So he is 7. You're level 5. He is target level 7. Cast level 5. 44% chance of so he's got a 44 to resist it right now, plus what was it, 35?
45. Yeah, so he's at 99.
Dave, would you kind of give us a percentile roll, please? Let's see if...
Come on, Dave. Okay.
So he feels the spell coming over him, but unfortunately he does successfully resist. For shits and giggles, let's see what would have happened if you cast a lightning bolt from your staff.
Okay. And I will say the good thing was I did cast the right spell because I chose a sleep 7 spell instead of a sleep 5 spell. So at least had a chance of affecting him. Exactly.
Good call on that. So give us a directed spells on for light law.
Okay. 228.
So what that would have been against his armor type 19 would have been 25 and an I critical. But Kev, didn't you say that it only goes up to an E? No, you're right, George. Because what it means is he gets an E electricity critical, a D impact critical, and a B heat critical. So let's see what that would have been.
Yeah.
E, give us first a percentile roll for your electricity critical.
Alrighty, there you go. 20.
An E20 would have been glancing strike stuns foe for 1 round. So you actually would have prevented him from attacking Sir Kira this round. And then it was a D impact critical. It's another percentile roll. 99. Blow to foe's side, plus 25 hits. Bone is driven into foe's kidneys and dies of shock in 1 round. And then a heat critical of 50. 50. Blast unbalances foe, plus 8 hits. Foe must parry for 2 rounds and takes 1 hit per round from his burning flesh.
And so, and the reason I was casting sleep because I was being the cautious brother. I was like, well, maybe we shouldn't kill anybody here.
Here's what I'm happy.
But I like this better.
I'm happy for it to be, because the thing is, your brother Nemrice was like about to be killed by these motherfuckers.
That's true. That is true.
Which do you think happened in fiction?
I think in fiction he is so, because he is the good brother, he cares so much about everybody else more than himself. He would have done whatever he had to switch up what he was doing and just destroy this leader of this party.
So, Sir Kira, you hit this thing, and then there's just this massive, larger lightning bolt than you have ever seen outside of the worst of the storms on the Bay of Ulor. And Eldon Trove is killed. in one round. You have enough time to watch him die. On the Oakford Giant's turn, he changes his action, casts his hands up. He is surrendering.
I give up.
Yeah. Eldon Trove is going to spend his turn dying. Lady Eustace is spending her turn dying. Kaya, I guess you've got your reloading.
Reloading and let's get a little cocky. Reloading and 5 points to glare at the giant menacingly.
We will drop out of combat now, guys, because the two surviving Sarawan mercenaries are going to surrender along with the Oakford Giant. So we will end our session. How? Do you guys accept his surrender?
Dave. That's not our call. That's Dave.
Yeah.
Or do we want to find out in our start of our next session?
Part of Sir Kira wants to just execute them all, but we need them to testify to the treachery of the Troves. So, well, we need at least one to testify.
All right. So then, guys, with the felling, oh god, now is anyone doing anything to try and save Lady Eustace?
No, but I'll try to help my friend.
Okay. Well, Nemrice is not bleeding out. He does have broken ribs right now,
do we have some healing that we can do on him?
Nemrice.
Does it have to be done right away? Is what I'm wondering.
It does not. So what happens is until those things, they will heal naturally over a certain amount of time, or you can use magic to heal them. And I'm trying to see here if Nemrice has access to. I know he's got concussion ways. Do you have any spells that deal with mending bone injuries? I don't think so, Nemrice.
Yeah, for something like that, I don't believe so.
No, so the you can either Dorek, he's a mentalist spellcaster in Cloven Bay who can heal that, or one of the sisters at Myrna Doom could heal his broken ribs, or he could heal over time. So maybe I guess we end with Zartakrik standing over Nemrice, and you can see he's breathing in a labored way in his wolf form, but he's not bleeding out or anything like that. He's not dead. What is going through everyone's mind as we bring this session to a close? Zartakrik?
I think Zartakrik is, kind of rattled by the power that came out of him because he was surprised, but it was all from the emotion of seeing his brother get injured. But he is feeling relief that his brother will survive, as well as other companions.
Nice. Sir Kira?
Surprise and immense relief, because she literally thought it was going to be her and Jawar going down at the hands of these eight people. And yeah, just it's like a swirl of emotion. And now she's also angry, and she wants to execute the mercenaries, and it's just kind of rein it all in, and go back to being the noble woman that she needs to be.
Yeah. Nemrice, when you do regain consciousness, what will be going through your mind?
He's immediately, assessing the situation, and just he hurts. He's in pain. Mm-hmm. So he really's like, okay, can I go lay down somewhere now?
Yep. And Kaya?
Kind of amazed. The bow is a recent acquisition, and maybe I think this is the first time Kaya's really seen some of the potential it has. And so, she's kind of amazed, but overall relief that she managed to, because her goal was to beeline it as close to her sister as possible and quickly to try to save her, and absolute relief that this worked.
So the closing thought that I will leave you with as we jump into our outro is something that Kaya would be aware of. Kaya is extremely well educated and is as skilled in a court setting as they are in combat. This is now 2 of King Trove or King Olin's children who are dead at the hands of the Master of Myrnadoon's kids. There's going to be consequences from this one way or the other.
And I did it.
So if there's no survivors,
and not if there's no and Kaya the thief and the spy thinks, not if there's not evidence.
With that in mind, we'll bring this session to a close. For those listening at home who've been joining us for the first time with this Rolemaster session or the entire story thus far, thank you so much for joining us for the Heirs of Sea and Sorrow game. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. In addition, you can find down below a link to the social media for most of our players and myself. You can find me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings. You can find me by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. I don't know why I make it sound as if it's so amazing that you can catch me by email. I have this new form of technology, electronic communications.
It's like literally the last thing someone's going to use to contact you.
Honestly, yeah, nowadays. Also, you can find a link down below to find the link to the Dungeon Musings Discord server. We have channels there. I think I need to set up a Rolemaster channel as well, but we do have channels dedicated to every other game we run on the channel, as well as every campaign we have going on the channel. And yeah, you can find not only conversations about that, but a bunch of other great stuff too. There's been some great groups that seem to have come in together the last little while too. So if you are looking for a group to play with, our Find a Group channel has been quite active the last little while. So you can find other folks to roll digital polyhedrals with. In addition, there's a link down below. Well, actually, so we have a charity initiative called Heroes Save Villages that we benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity. Unfortunately, they've changed service providers, and we weren't aware that was happening. So the link we have down below to that donation tab is actually not working right now. I need to fix that, and I will be fixing that during my vacation, which leads me into my next comment, which is, as a reminder, I'll be on vacation from October 14th until October 24th, which means our next session back on the channel will be live streamed on October, I believe, 27th. In the interim, I will be on Dungeon Musings Discord server, and I will be responding to emails because I can't possibly leave the internet. However, we will be back again on the 27th with the next part of this story. So Chapter 5 and the fallout of the death of the Trove children. We'll see what happens then. And we still have yet for Dave's character to break the news about his brother or her brother to her father yet. So I'm sure that will also go over well. I know it's so unlike. I think the best way your characters in most of my campaigns are just characters in Michael Mann films. Things are not starting off great, and they're only going to get worse for you as we go. So, with that, once again, thank you so much. I guess the last thing, I will say is a huge thank you to the players. So George, Dave, Will, and Andrew, a huge thank you to you guys playing. The players, this is a game that has been requested on the channel quite a bit, and it is something that I have had on my radar. But this is no one was clamoring at my gates asking me to run Rolemaster. So I thoroughly appreciate you guys jumping in and giving it a go and doing such an amazing job of bringing these characters to life. I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with Rolemaster thus far, and it will be coming with me on my vacation. Last thing then, let's call it a session. We're way over time. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. We'll be back again in a couple of weeks, and until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours. Take your mind off of the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that the scions of Myrnadoon have been getting themselves up to. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.
Bye.